From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode, meet a local high school student who's already working to curb nanoplastic pollution. Get more insight about mental health assistance. Last week's focus was employees. Today we look at you, the boss, and we'll have another success story.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
The holidays are all about sharing with family. Meals, couches, stories, Grandma's secret pecan pie recipe. And now you can also share a cart with Instacart family carts. Everyone can add what they want to one group cart from wherever they are. So you don't have to go from room to room to find out who wants cranberry sauce, or whether you should get mini marshmallows for the yams, or collecting votes for sugar cookies versus shortbread. Just share a cart, and then share the meals and the moments. Download the Instacart app and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
Welcome back to Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. This is Wish TV. This week in business, we talk nanoplastics, tiny particles that come from plastic items as they break down over time. Environmental experts warn that they can end up in the soil and our water supply. Detecting them has long been difficult and time-consuming, but a local high school freshman may help change all that.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. This Week in Business.
Our friends at the Hamilton County Reporter introduced us to a remarkable University High School freshman named Vedatri Liar. She has developed a quick way to detect harmful nanoplastic contamination in drinking water. With the help of Bob Raudebush, who's a lab coordinator and a mentor at Trico Regional Sewer Facilities, Vedatri is an entrepreneur in the making on a mission to keep our water safe.
So I started my journey with finding out about nanoplastics in my water research around 6th grade when I came here to Trico for just a tour of the facilities. And there I really fell in love with the world of reusing water and finding out how much characteristics water has. From there, I did some research and I started looking at how much plastic contaminations in our daily water use. 12.5 million tons of plastic are dumped into our oceans each day, and so that really affects each of our waters. And so we can always measure how much plastic there is. There's easy ways to measure plastics and microplastics, but not very much for nanoplastics. And that's where I got interested. So really the only way to measure nanoplastics is through a very big way called spectroscopy. And that can only be done by very big labs. So I really got interested in trying to find a way that was field testable and really rapid, just to see how much nanoplastic load is in each of the water samples I test. So this is a handheld fluorometer device. It was custom made by AMI Sciences, and this can detect fluorescence in solutions. And so basically what you do is you take a water sample and you insert it right here. And then you close it, you turn on the device, and it reads you how much fluorescence. So what I do is I add a fluorescent dye into each water solution, and then I run it through the fluorometer. And that dye loosely binds to plastics, which then the fluorometer can detect. And that tells me how many plastic particles are in there. So first I take my water sample and I put it into this tube. And then I would add my dye, but which I don't have right now. But I would take that water sample and put it into this 0.3 ml tube. I then put it into the fluorometer, close, and I hit measure. And then it comes out with my result right here.
It's amazing. So something that would take months to do, you've just done in less than a minute. Probably.
Yep.
Wow.
It's very rapid, it's very fields testable, it's just really easy. Treco's been great, especially Mr. Bob Rody Bush. He's been really great with my journey and he's always supported me here. They've been really helpful, allowing me to use their lab for everything.
Well, I've been here for about 14 years. I run the lab here at Treco Regional. I have an environmental science background. I went to Indiana University and received the degree in environmental science. Through there, just loved the environment, kind of just honestly landed in this position, but because of the microbiology and kind of saving the environment every day, I really fell in love with this profession. I used to judge science fair projects, and so I have seen a lot of very brilliant young kids, but whenever somebody that young comes up and has a project that they want to actually try to figure out a method to discovering, you know, how to get from one point to the next, I mean, it's really amazing when it comes down to the scientific, breakthrough that really it could happen because of this project. Even if she's stuck with this, nanoplastics are a huge thing in today's environment. They've been found all the way in people's bloods. Healthy human beings, they've been able to find particles of plastic in people's bloods. So it's obviously, with it being inundated in our daily lives, you know, it's not going away.
Hopefully, I'd love to continue my project with nanoplastics further and create a bigger impact with the community and hopefully get more community involvement with it, making sure that everyone knows that this is an option to testing our waters. So I've gone to some conferences with the River Alliance of Indiana, and I've also gone to a water summit, and I've talked there about my research and how it can be used. And so hopefully through this and a couple more different conferences, I can introduce my method to other people. I think always just follow your dreams. Like, I did not believe I could get here, but like, I had a lot of people who had some faith in me, and so that really helped me propel my idea. My dad and mom, they've always supported my ideas, and if I do have an idea, they make sure that I have the resources to carry out that plan and idea, and they're always really helpful with driving me everywhere I need to go. They're always there for me for support and all of that. I hope to continue my research in the environmental sciences, but I'd also love to become some sort of physician or researcher. Definitely just listen and try to be a bit more open-minded about the different techniques we can use to detect plastics.
You tuned in to Business Equity and Opportunities, and thanks for that. I'm Scott Sander. Time for running your business day to day. Stress clearly can be a constant companion of a small business owner. In this Mental Wellness Month, we look at how that stress can affect you.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities, running your business day to day.
Last week, we spoke with Amy Hurt, Clinical Supervisor of the Crisis Intervention Unit at Eskenazi Health. She spoke about what employers can do if they suspect an employee is struggling with their mental health. But what if it's the boss who needs some help? Amy's back with more.
I think it's even higher for small business owners, for people that own their own business. The stress of trying to keep the doors open, maintain their financial stability, as well as the employees that they have working with them, lends itself to a lot of stress and makes it difficult for business owners to remember that they too are human. And sometimes I feel like they think they have to be super people, superhumans that can't take time out for themselves or to even honor, hey, I'm having a rough day here. Very often they need to put themselves out there as being the one that's always in charge and the all-knowing and the all-powerful and well. When you are feeling physically fatigued, when you are feeling emotionally fatigued, when your mannerisms start to change, if an individual starts to feel more tearful, if they feel as if their emotions are not as easily in check, if they get triggered by situations or even by people around them, that might be a warning sign. If you feel like it's difficult to get out of bed and you feel like I would much rather stay here in my cocoon and pull the covers over my head, that's a very big warning sign that there might be some emotional challenges going on, and those really need to be tended to and cared for. First and foremost, remind themselves that they are human and that they too have emotions and feelings just like everyone else in the world. We spoke last week about some of the online platforms that can support people, some of the mindfulness, the meditation apps that are there. Those are good for the business owners as well, to meditate every morning or to turn something on, even if it's good music. That's a really helpful way for them to care for themselves. Exercise is another great way for them to care for their bodies. When we exercise, endorphins kick in, and it also supports our mental health and mental wellness. So any kind of exercise that they can do, whether it's biking or hiking or yoga, anything at all that helps support them, is a great way for them to take care of themselves as well. But it really comes down to giving themselves permission to take care of themselves and to take that pause as they might need to. So business owners need to remind themselves that they are important and that our mental health is important. If they are not taking care of themselves, they can't take care of their business, they can't take care of their employees, and very often things will start to feel out of control. And it's in those moments where folks really need to recognize, I need some support here. And it's okay to ask for help, either from those that love you or from professional support systems, to say, I need a timeout because I need to recognize that if I don't care for myself, I can't care for my business, for my family, for my employees, really for anyone around me.
Time to wrap things up with our success story. Over the last few weeks, we've introduced you to several of the champions of diversity. This morning, meet another. It is today's success story.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities Success Story.
Jean Gauthier is the president and CEO of TechPoint, an Indiana nonprofit dedicated to growing the technology industry here. She's also this week's success story.
I grew up in China and went to one of the best schools, college over there, and believe it or not, I majored in English. So liberal arts was my background, and trained in liberal arts and read a lot of poetry and novels while in college. Good timing. And right in 2001, I remember vividly, right before 9/11s, like many other newly minted graduate student here, I landed at Purdue University because they were generous enough to give me a full ride scholarship. That's what got me to Purdue. And I ended up doing a graduate study in American Studies. As a liberal arts training background, to be honest, I originally thought about journalism, communication, marketing. I didn't know what I wanted to do or even what was available to me. But in hindsight, I think some of the communication skill set and the critical thinking skills that I didn't fully appreciate at the time probably helped me along the way in my career development. But long story short, after grad school, I got married to American. I was a Hoosier by choice. 21 years now, very proud Hoosier by choice. My husband is a Hoosier by birth. He's from Southern Indiana, and we and I met at Purdue in class at Purdue. So we're very grateful for Purdue for both my professional, get my career launched, education completed, and a personal life launched. And we moved to Indy because he got a job in Indy, and just purely by accident, I landed at the General Counsel's Office for International Hedge Fund that was founded by some of the Purdue Alumni Network alum. And this really introduced me to the world of finance. Two things I knew out of that experience. One is I know I wanted to stay in the business of finance because very smart, driven people, committed, driven people. I love working with them. And two, I also know in order to build a career there, I have to brush up on my general business understanding and number crunching skill sets. So I went back to Kelly to get my MBA. That was right before the financial crisis. So we moved down to Bloomington. Originally, I wanted to get into corporate finance because we had a one-year-old son at that time. I knew kind of the corporate finance was the career path I was envisioning, but when the financial crisis happened, which led to a different path, which ended up being an internship at the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. That was the summer of 2009. My primary summer internship project at the time, was to do portfolio analysis of this 100-plus companies that was Indiana Economic Development Corporation through the Indiana 21st Century Research and Technology Fund has put money towards in the last 10-plus years. And obviously the conclusion was in part because of the disruption in the financial marketplace. A lot of these companies need help. That's which led us to go around and look in the countries. Is there any other model beyond just a grant program that can really make a difference in terms of the success rate of these young startups? Which 2 years later led to the creation of Elevate Ventures as independent nonprofit that was primarily investing state resources for these venture development activities. And I was fortunate to be on one of the founding team with the first. I was employee number 2, Elevate, so that was 11 years ago. And when this TechPoint opportunity opened up earlier this year, I have to admit, to leave some of the venture roles behind was a little tough, in part because that was my baby. But this provides such a community building opportunity beyond just the capital piece. It's something that was very attractive. Like I said, I've known this. I've been watching some of the great work TechPoint team, the CICP team, are doing for well over a decade. I know we have a terrific team, a terrific platform to tackle various big problems. Capital is one of them, but it's by no means the only one. Issues that we're trying to solve for the prosperity of the state of Indiana. So I'm very grateful to be here today. I think for me is no matter what it is, when I get up every day and knowing that there's going to be some challenges, no matter big or small, coming there that day. But the people that we work with, we know no matter what the challenges are, problems are, we're going to solve those problems and we're going to make a difference. We're going to do quality work. I think that having really daily aspiration to show up every single day, do quality work, no matter big or small, is something that's driving me.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, beoshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at beoshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.